I hit record a drop, you can't ignore it. I'm transforming now these cars and planes, I'm always boarding. Just out touring down in Charlotte like I play for Hornets. When I'm performing, never boring, now you can't afford it. Champagne Perrier, finish friends on my face. Looking like I'm from the deep, these no Cartiers. Pockets deep, 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 bro. I can make it in my seat, bro. Do you, I'm doing me, bro. Making noise, use a peak, bro. Whoa, I press the button and the doors go off like, whoa. That money clip was not a new, now looks like, whoa. Upgrade her diamonds, now her girlfriends are like, whoa, 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 whoa. Neighborhood on the scene, neighborhood on the strip, neighborhood be the name.
What up, what up, what up? We made it back from fucking weekend. We're all in at least sort of mostly put together, I think. Feeling pretty good, rejuvenated. Yo,
Get out those lighters.
and if you were there and you tried to play a drinking game with the DJ, you would have been dead every time that he hit the
Didn't matter what you drank.
He would have died
water.
within the first 10 minutes he started. He hit that horn so many
Legitimately.
times.
That cat, he's in love with that air horn. Dude, great weekend. Good to see you all. I know it was a quick trip for you guys. Pretty quick trip, even for me, a weekend trip. And, dude, freaking dope. So, Bryce, Will, what was your thoughts on Fuck It Saturday specifically, but just like the overall sentiment of, you know, like in real life meetups, dude? Because, again, feels like it doesn't happen enough, right? Like it just feels like it doesn't happen enough. So, what was your thought on the Fuck It weekend?
Oh man, it's just it's one of those things where it's always so refreshing to meet up with people that you constantly are like rubbing shoulders with in a digital environment, and then to be able to, you know, sit down face to face, have some conversations, you know, do like the IRL vibe check and kind of you know, see who's still here, who's still kicking, who's still, you know, vibing, who's still building, who's still collecting, whatever it may be. It's always just great to see and hear from other people and kind of get some of their perspectives on what the outlook is from their point of view. Because we all have different circles, we all have different things going on, different echo chambers that we may fall into. But then to get to an event where, you know, we got people, you know, standing on their heads and screaming at the top of their lungs as fast as can be on the stage to intro ASAP Ferg. Right. You know, there's vibes all around. You know, it's an electric environment.
Motherfucking Ferg. Sorry,
Dude,
colder than an iceberg, baby.
He's colder than an iceberg, ASAP Ferg.
That's so funny. Yeah, I definitely retweet what Will said there. I find it so much easier to have those kind of conversations in person, and they can last like 5-10 minutes versus, you know, if you're trying to type it all through Twitter or something, it's just not nearly as efficient.
For sure.
And still this time around, you know, third Ape Fest, and still so many apes that I don't know in person, and then just seeing some people and being like, oh my gosh, wait, you're Neon Ape, or you're Anaroth, or you're like, you know, just whoever, was really cool.
Definitely cool to see people in the flesh, and 100% triple tap on that. It's like, dude, there's nothing better than actually like shaking somebody's hand, give them a fist bump, give them a hug, whatever, enjoy each other's company, you know, have a meal, have a drink, whatever you're into. Like it was honestly such a good time, and it is refreshing, to be honest with you. It's I was like sort of sad like on Sunday when it was all like everyone had left, or not everyone, but like a lot of people had left, and it's just bittersweet. I think it wasn't necessarily sadness, it's just bittersweet because it's like such a fun time to just, again, shake hands with people. I shook hands with a number of apes that I've known for a long time that I had literally never talked to in the flesh. And so like, man, to me, in real life events, still underrated. Like we talk about every time we come back, everyone's like high-fiving each other. Oh my gosh, the in real life event was so dope. Fucking Saturday and Friday was so amazing. Dude, you're not lying. And actually, they're still underrated. That's what's wild, because every time, at least with Yuga, every time I come back from Yuga event, I'm ready to run through a freaking wall because the people, like the variety of people that you see, right? There's such a variety of person that's in the club at whatever event you went to, and how cool and like just down to earth they are. If you just go up and say like, hey, what's up? My name's Phil. What's your, do you have an ape? Do you have a mutant? Are you part of the other side? Me bit? Like what, why are you here? Like what brings you here? It's like everyone is open to having a conversation, which that's just like, that's not normal. And so it's like you've created this real tight knit community, even people that literally have no clue what they look like. And that happened to me a number of times. Hey, Phil, what's up, bro? And I was like, I don't know who you are because you've seen my face, but I've never seen yours. But at the end of the day, everyone was just so cool. Like that's my biggest takeaway. The event was amazing. The venue was perfect. Everything was perfect. Menu, freaking everything. The menu was chef's kiss. The different places that you could sit, enjoy the music, chef's kiss. But honestly, just the community, like amazing, dude. Like hats off to freaking Yuga Labs. Hats off 2 times for the community for just being so dope. Like that's my biggest takeaway from the entire weekend is the people are just fire. What's up, Adam, Mario, Dino Pawns? Dino Pawns, there was some news we'll get into today too. But man, listen, Ape Fest is just around the corner. So we talk about these in real life events. I know y'all are both going. Are you starting to get excited now, or is that still, far enough out where you're not necessarily thinking about it quite yet? Because you're talking, I guess that's in about a little over 2 months, right?
Yeah, I think it's about 6 weeks or so, 6 or 7 weeks.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, definitely excited. I was in Miami less than 24 hours, so I only saw people during the Fuck It Saturday event. So definitely wasn't nearly long enough to interact with a lot of those people, but super excited for Ape Fest. Granted, it's still a long ways out, and I think we have a lot to kind of look forward in between there with Legends of the Mara and the Rift and everything else. So
for sure. Again, third time's a charm. It was another bombastically dope weekend and dope evening on Saturday. And so drinks up to the community tonight is sponsored by maybe Fuzzy's Taco Shop. If you're watching,
I haven't had Fuzzy's.
Dude, I actually haven't either. Ozarka water. I'm drinking Topo Chico. Here's the alpha. Topo Chico with a twist of lime plus lemonade. Chef's kiss.
I can't do sparkling water.
Oh, what is it about it?
Maybe I'm just too immature. That might be what it is.
Actually, that's probably it.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Too immature, my guy.
Yeah.
It's acquired taste, my guy. You got to grow into it. Dude, so talk to me. I know you guys have been super active in specifically the voting world of heavy metal, but talk to the audience and me because I want to hear you guys' opinion of the Rift. It is coming next week, but the season also ended today or tomorrow. Tomorrow? Is that when it ends? Tomorrow?
Ends tomorrow. Rift opens next Thursday, which I totally goofed. And I thought,
dude,
in the back of my mind, I've been thinking, oh, we just have to get through season 3. And then the Rift opens and we have something completely new. Newsflash. It says September 7th at the top of the post where they talked about the hunt. I think I just got so caught up in the fact that that they said Big Boss rewards are going to be ApeCoin. And so everybody like freaked out.
Right.
Or at least I freaked out. And
I mean, how can you not be excited about that? Right.
Yeah.
It's kind of impossible to not be.
But there's really little bits of alpha that keep popping up all over the place on what the Forge Rift is going to be. And I'm going to share this real quick, which is, I guess, some code from one of the updates on Forge. And it talks about their, being fighter, crafter, explorer. I kind of put together my thoughts on that in this tweet where I said, we'll be able to fight off enemies within the dungeon. We'll need to craft batteries to boost our time inside the Rift. And then obviously they also mentioned something about exploring the Rift to pick up parts so that you can beef up your heavy metals in preparation for the big boss battle. So good to see we have fighter, crafter, explorer being alluded to down here. Also some interesting things: range, speed, shield, radar, of course shitting. But the other one I wanted to post or point out is this one that says guest. Hollow Reaver, Celestial Knight, Biodynamic Glitch, guest. So we've listed off the types of heavy metals, but apparently we'll have a guest heavy metal type, which maybe will look completely different. Maybe this would be kind of cool. What if there was a whole nother collection that isn't actually NFTs, but you could randomly be assigned a guest heavy metal, and you don't get to reap the full rewards, but you still get to participate in some capacity. I don't know. It'll be interesting.
I'm really
to see
curious
whatever
to see how. Go ahead. Sorry. What'd you say?
It's just going to be interesting to see whatever it is.
Yeah. I'm curious to see what passive voting is going to be like. Is that,
Agreed.
is that done
Agreed.
through our batteries? Do we have to generate some batteries? And then it's like the batteries are used as the guest passes. So if a guest comes in, they, grab a battery and that substitutes a vote for that battery. Like, I just have no clue how it's going to work.
No, for sure. I'm also very curious on the passive voting. We talked about that a little bit actually on obviously on our show a week or two ago, maybe last week. And it was like, yeah, that'd be cool if you could go. It's hilarious, the timing, because I'm pretty sure this was last week. You're like, oh yeah, maybe we'll go in and you'll be able to pick up some votes. And then like that's kind of what it sounds like, right? Like you will go into whatever this is, and sometimes what you find or what you battle for could be like you got a bag of 10 votes. Like that would be cool too. Like, so you're not having to hit up 10 mofos and be like, vote for vote and all that shit. We've been doing it forever. But I like the idea of that potentially being like a treasure, a reward. And then also, obviously, we got the ApeCoin shit coming, ApeCoin rewards. We also got upgrades to heavy metals. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm excited to see what the Rift is. I will say, Will, the little post that you had just put up on the screen, that actually makes me more bullish on it, actually. And maybe that's a misstep. I don't know. But like seeing all of these little like pieces of code and like, again, the fighter, crafter, explorer, I'm just interested. Right. And
that's just, it's going to be, we're going to be hands-on,
curious.
right? And I wonder if we'll be able to transfer and like be a fighter one day and a crafter the next day, or how that will work there. Or if you pick one and that's what you are.
Yeah. No, I think it's very curious. I like the guest idea too, because I mean, if it's good enough where you want people to be able to come in and play as a guest, that should make you feel kind of bullish too. Again, I'm not saying Diablo. I'm not saying that at all. But if it's fun and maybe you're implying this, that they could have a chance at small rewards. Do you think that will be something, or just literally they can only play? What do you think?
Yeah, I think we could see something where people come in and they don't own a heavy metal, but they're able to still get some kind of reward. Obviously, it's not going to be, hopefully, the bags of ApeCoin that are awarded at the end for heavy metal owners, but it is something they mentioned early on. I think Spencer had talked about there being a free-to-play model where heavy metal owners could have people come in and use their heavy metals kind of in this free-to-play model, where they could like just have them available and then people could take them and use them.
Right.
So that would be interesting. It'll be interesting to see how that demand sizes up compared to, just the current holders demand, because at the end of the day, we still have loads and loads of heavy metals that haven't even touched their forge yet. They're completely blank slates, which is kind of a bummer. I posted this a little while ago. I was like, it kind of sucks to see some of these are just, not getting used.
Yeah.
And, it could be for whatever reason. Either people forgot about them, people just don't have the time, or they don't think they have the time to do it, or whatever. I mean, it definitely is a chore if you're trying to grind votes every day for the entire 3 weeks. I'll be happy that this is over, and I might adjust my strategy to not be as aggressive this time, because I was trying to make up for some lost epics that I could have had at the end of last season. But the votes were super expensive last season. They dropped down this season, made it a lot more affordable. So it was a good switch up. I did end up doing a little bit of vote buy-in to kind of secure my spot across 4 heavies. So we'll see.
Yeah, that's fair. I am curious as well. Like you said, these heavies that haven't been touched at all, does it get to the point after season 4 where they're just like basically worth nothing? Because don't you have to have 3 to go into the Rift? Like, don't you feel like we're almost getting to the breaking point where like maybe someone decides, maybe somebody that's really bullish on, maybe they play the Rift, right? Maybe they go in next week and they're like, holy shit, this is super dope. And there's just massive sweeps of these that haven't been touched, or put out offers to these that haven't been touched with the hopes that they just, simply pick up 3 amps so that they have more to play with. What are your thoughts on that, Bryce?
I mean, that'll largely depend on the rewards, right? I mean,
Yeah.
if there's no sort of incentive for people to, want to acquire a bunch of heavy metals and these amps and stuff, because I think Ben NGB Spend,
Yeah.
I'm not sure how you properly
Ben.
say
Yeah.
it.
Cheetah Ben. Yeah.
Cheetah Ben. He had said something, there's more to Forge than just voting in amps, right? So it's going to be curious to
Right.
see what that next stage is, and if it's, more important than voting in amps. Is it, same tier, or, kind of what's the balance there?
Will, what would it take for you to get just extremely bullish after going into the rift? Like, what would it have to, like, what would you have to see to be like, shit, I don't have enough of these things? Is there a scenario where that happens?
I don't know. I think there's like going to be a weird mixture of like, I want to be able to interact with these heavy metals, but at the same time, it can't be so much interaction that I can't manage 10. So
yeah,
I mean, I've kind of thought about, searching for a couple more to pick up before we enter the rift.
right.
But I think I'm gonna just chill with what I currently have, kind of feel it out, see what happens. I'll probably be late to a move, either up or down, whatever the floor decides, based off of what the rift launches with. But I think if we can get something where it's like a good bit of interaction and maybe like some good strategy involved, where you actually have to, strategically explore and get rewarded in a way that puts less emphasis on vote swapping and more emphasis on interacting with your heavy metal, I think that would be the route to go. But we'll see how it goes. I'm kind of curious though, because the vote for vote social aspect was something that they leaned into heavily in the first, at the start of Forge, right? So it was like very much an emphasis to bring the community together in this vote for vote style way, where people are either swapping votes, people are, early on competing, downvoting other heavies. If you're in one clan and you're trying to get somebody pushed down so your teammate can be pushed up or whatever. So there was that competition there, and then so I'm curious to see if we move away from that a little bit, since it kind of has really turned into like a vote selling and buying chaoticness. I don't know, it's kind of like it's weird trying to price votes, because you don't really know what these amps are going to be used for or what they will be valued at. And I feel like we're kind of seeing the same thing where we did with sewer passes.
Perfect timing.
Yeah, sewer passes.
Unused sewer passes still on chain. How does that work? Like, what is that? Like,
if it's a validated sewer pass, you can still buy the sewer pass today. If it's not grayed out, you can still buy that and redeem it for a heavy metal.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
So they're just chilling over there. I believe that's open forever.
I'm also interested too, Will, as we kind of talk about vote for votes, and if there's this, passive voting, if that is that just additional votes tacked on to your original vote for vote? Is it, 3 votes passive votes a day? Is it 100 passive votes a day? Right. So it'll be interesting, I think, to see if that, because I think right now, in order to get plus 20 points, you have to have 16, 17, 18-ish votes. If in the last 3 seasons, that gets bumped up to 22 votes, 25 votes, and then you kind of gets to the point where you can't just trade votes. You actually have to physically play in order to get these higher end.
Yeah,
for sure.
That would be my guess.
For sure. A lot still to unpack and uncover, but I know that we're all excited here at Board TV, and I'm sure everybody is, about seeing what the rift is, poking around a little bit, and understanding how those batteries, the power, the voting, all of it works, and what those rewards also entail. There's a tweet I'll pull up in a minute, but before I do that, gentlemen, I think it's time to get into our next little segment, and I've already got something queued up and ready to roll. The Legends of the motherfucking Mara. What is up? So
about time.
Dude,
all right.
For real, about time. So let's get into it. Let's watch this, and then let's talk a little bit about what we see, what we expect, and some of the information that came out after this little clip.
Sweet.
finally, it is here.
It's
Legends
here,
of the
dude.
Mara open beta sometime in September. Speculators want to say it's on the last day of September.
Probably a good guess.
I'm gonna hope that it's a little bit before that, but we will see.
I texted
This
Will
kind
this. I
of
was like, imagine we got just a tweet. It was like, fuck it, LOTM tomorrow. Assuming tomorrow was September 1st. That would have been baller.
That would have been baller.
would have been bonkers.
Baller status for real.
But that would have been pissed off so many people because it would have been like, I need time to prepare.
Yeah, dude. That's the thing that's funny.
Probably better that they didn't do it that way.
Yeah. They blow our fucking
Yeah.
face off now, and people will be like, I can't believe you didn't give me enough time to get ready for this. It's like, okay.
Ziggy's got the alpha.
September 22nd.
So the interesting thing we got today, along with this announcement, which came after the first announcement about Forge, was that they said, oh, we're extending season 4. So it's going to be 4 weeks, and then shortening season 5 to be 2 weeks. And so there were some people that were saying that perhaps they don't want chaos around the transition period between 4 to 5 for Forge to interfere with Legends of the Mara being launched. So
Interesting.
that seems valid.
It does seem valid. It makes me wonder how hands-on the Rift is going to be, and Legends of the Mara, right? If they're both extremely hands-on, it might be, a lot to juggle.
Yeah, am I gonna have time to play all these games?
You just gotta. You actually have to retire. You have to retire from your job, gentlemen. This is our full-time job now. So also today they had some more information, which I found, and I think we all found. We were talking about it a little bit in back channels. Is some more information on the Legends of Mara, and more specifically, that they had partnered with Faraway GG. I don't know if maybe that's right. I don't know. And are building a major expansion in Unity. That was interesting to see this as an announcement. And again, they said the early version will be in the community's hands so you can play and provide feedback while we keep building. This is a big moment, Voyagers. It's time to learn about the powers of your other deed and earn rewards that will come into play during future Legends of the Mara expansions. This chapter of Legends of the Mara will evolve over the coming months, and more capabilities will be uncovered as the full launch nears. But for now, get ready to hatch your vessels, gather sediment from your deed, and defend other side. So, gentlemen, with all that information, what is your thoughts on, I don't know, like, interesting to see that they partnered with this Faraway GG, and I don't really know much about them. I did a tiny bit of digging. Far.
Yeah, it's not Faraway, it's far away.
Dude, I'm literally sitting here like Farrah Fawcett, dude. Listen,
Thank you, Rich.
Thank you, Rich. That's why I don't teach English or reading, apparently. Far away, good game to fill. Yeah. But what's our thoughts on Far Away? And Rich or anyone in the audience, if you have some insight, and I see Jesus there too. Jesus. I see you down there. I know some of these folks, some of these friends, I've heard you talk a little bit about gaming. So does anyone know anything about Faraway? I'm just kidding. Far Away. This game's
Well, it might be Faraway, but I think that's just funny that the Mara is far away.
Yeah, it
sounds
way better as Far Away. So Rich, thanks a lot. That'll be a clip. But what are your thoughts, gentlemen? Like, thinking about them kind of putting it out there that the full version, these expansions, will obviously take a while, and that this first is really like, it'll be a test run. Are your expectations lowered? Are they the same? Are they actually higher because they've partnered with yet another game publisher and developer?
I wouldn't say my expectations are like super high. I do think there will be bearish news with nesting. I think there's some people that probably won't be a big fan depending on how long that nesting period is. But I mean, I am excited. I think it's good. They're, continuing to expand their reach, work with other companies, and maybe they have, this Far Away has a different take on gaming than, Improbable or whatever. And so, we'll just have kind of different styles.
Jesus with a little hookup. He says Unity is dope. Sandbox uses Unity for no code. UGC maker. So again, I just thought it was interesting. That's all. Because I don't believe Far Away is partnered or connected to Animoca, but maybe I'm completely crazy. And so the thought that that's a different, yet another, group. I think that's kind of cool though. Like you're getting another just talented group to focus on this one thing.
So I think there was some clarification there that
On the deep
far
trenching?
away is
it's
separate
faraway.
from anim. You're going to send me for a loop now. I'm like, wait, did I
Now
say it
I'm
wrong or
confused.
not?
Now I'm
There was
lost.
some clarification though that I believe Ben had put in the Discord saying that Animoca is still involved through, is it Eye Candy? Maybe some studio that is working with them. So they're still involved with Other Side as well as this new partnership, I guess, to build out one of the expansions, which who knows what an expansion for LOTM means at this point in time, right? Like it could be anything. So
but they've talked about that too, though, right? It's like from the beginning, we knew there was going to be these seasons, these expansions as we went, right? So this is just more clarification of kind of, some of the things that they're going to be cooking up.
Yeah, definitely. Do you still have that tweet thread open? Because
I
there
do.
was one that I thought was extremely interesting.
Yep. 1 second here, sir. Far away. Here we go.
I think it's the second one down.
Oops, I went to their actual tweet.
Not days.
I know. Sorry. I was checking out far away. Fair away. Here we go. The second one you said? There we go.
Yeah. Right there.
Yeah, so this one gets me really excited because it's saying, we get to learn the powers of our other deeds and then earn rewards that will come into play during the future Legends of the Mara expansions. So not only are we learning about the powers of our other deeds, but the rewards that come with it, I think will be another fantastic value driver towards deed owners. It kind of seems like the natural progression there of like, how do you continue to drive value to the main collection? And so, I don't know if this means you have to have, one vessel per one deed and have those combination in order to get the reward or whatever it is. But I'll be curious to see if it's a per combo or a per deed basis. I'm biasly leaning towards per deed since I am heavily
you're a
deeds instead of Kodamara.
Deed max.
So,
the dude has
or
169. He has 420.69 now.
Yeah, I own like the majority of the collection. It's pretty incredible.
Yeah, he is. He actually.
They all went to
is
zero, and I
Mythra
bought them because everybody was like bearish. So
yeah, I will say it was interesting. You can tell the era of the degen is over because Yuga did a tweet and literally like no buys happened for a while.
It took a minute.
On deeds at least. There was some vessel sweeps, but OG deeds
definitely
and
cooked.
Expanded, there was like nothing.
But again, I think it's definitely the no or less degenerate, obvious market. But it's also just, I think for a lot of people, just they have no liquidity or less than they did, in 2021, where it's like, oh, I'm spending fucking $10,000 on this piece of shit. Yeah, let's let it freaking rip. And now it's like they got like $50 in ETH in their name, and they're just like hoping that goes to $1 million. I am excited though, because in that second tweet or that third tweet as well, they talked about, I know, Bryce, you just said, the hatching of the vessels, and I'll agree. Hopefully the nesting isn't some like absurdity where it's like, it feels like forever, but what will gather sediment mean? What does that look like? Is it kind of like a heavy metal type thing? As defend your other side though, that's gotta be somewhat interactive. And that's the card game, I would assume, right? Like we all would assume that first beta version will be something where we're defending with our codas and our friends and whatever else, our vessels when they hatch. So I don't know. I'm still excited. I'm actually super excited that we got some more clarification. And apparently September is just going to be the month of Yuga. And then after that, they'll just continue to blow our hair back. That's what I'm feeling currently.
I think if I had to chime in real quick on the farming aspect, I think farming will be the boring aspect. So boring as such that we could even be farming potentially while we're nested, kind of as like a just to appease some people, like, hey, you're gonna get like some starter sediment as soon as you get through to the other side. of your nesting experience.
I
So
wonder if
that would
farming
be
will
interesting. What?
I said, I wonder if farming will be similar to like upgrading your tile in heavy metal, right? Like you
That's
click
what
to
I
go
was
farm, and
thinking.
then you have
Yeah.
to wait like 3,
Yeah.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hours, and that depends on whether it's a tier 1, tier 2, tier 3.
Mm-hmm. That's kind of what I was thinking, to be honest with you.
Well, and it might be also where you have to, you know, maybe do some few like small tasks to prepare
true.
to farm. I mean, if anyone's played like RuneScape, doing farming runs where you have to go and water your plants,
Mhm.
come back around later on and harvest them. Then you got to put new seeds in, water them, harvest them, whatever. And then you kind of do that on a cycle. So maybe if you're on a tier 3 sediment that like has a different cooldown versus a tier 1 sediment, or a different yield amount, or a different whatever. So there's still so much stuff that we have, you know, not learned yet about sediments and how they're used. But I'm excited. I'm ready to kill some MFing Shattered.
I like this little comment from Jesus too. Hearing it's using Unity makes me think it'll be a way more immersive experience. That's dope, right? Like I would also agree the fact that, you know, they're bringing on this other, I don't know, partner, you know, like to me, I think just bigger. And maybe that's the wrong thought, but like when I hear that, it's like, hey, let's bring in another fucking just all-star to focus specifically on this and just freaking blow it out of the
Knock it
water.
out of the
Yeah,
park.
literally just knock it out of the park. And this is also interesting from Jesus. Feel like game mechanics are contingent on regulatory landscape. I would agree with that. Farming may be conflated with passive income, which become a bad word in West. Yeah,
Very true. Very, very true.
and there's a lot of that. Obviously, kind of all over the place here in the United States right now when it comes to SEC taking a bunch of L's. And we'll see what else happens from that. But I would agree, Jesus. That's definitely. I think it's walking on eggshells still. Yes, Squirtle, give me dungeon runs with friends. I agree. Like please make it something that, and I think it will be, please make it something that we can stream it and it's fun and we can shoot the shit and like, you know, people can have drinks. People can
I hope there's options. I hope you can go solo or you can go with friends.
100%.
It's like a different type of thing. And
yes,
that's
I agree completely. And I think it will be like, there'll be times where it's like, oh shit, I got 30 minutes. I'm not going to like call a fucking crew of 10 to go. It'll just be, you know, I'll go explore. I think,
or maybe it'll be similar to like 10K TF bounties, where you just, you know, have an invite code and you send it out in one of the Discord servers, like you vote, and if people are active and want to play right then and there, they hop in and join your team.
Yeah, no, I think that's an interesting dynamic. On that note, a very quick note on 10K TF. I'll be honest with you, with the bounties, it's cool, but I also quickly realized they had sent like all my shit to like the main thing, and I was like, oh, I guess I'm doing no bounties now. So that's one thing to adjust, and I'm not hating on that at all.
They warned about that.
I understand that, but did I read? No. And my bag is so small. It's like I'm kind of like either doing this and getting a lot, or not even a lot, but decent points, or doing the other thing. Like to me, I don't have enough to be picky, I guess. But I do like it because it does make you think and choose wisely, no matter what size bag you have. And so I actually think that's fun. They've gamified the game. You know, you can go to bounties and you can choose a different type of bounties, or you can go to this other thing that we have going. So where does that land? I have no freaking clue. I probably need to do a better job paying attention and maybe spraying and praying a little bit more and having like tiny loadouts, but kind of all over the tiny loads, but all over the place.
That's kind of what I've done.
Yeah.
So I leave like I have a Gucci grill. I leave that for like my missions. And then I have 3 G tags that I use for just like with my other PFPs.
Yeah. For
Like
sure.
I could add a G tag to my Gucci grill, but I think it's better just to separate them and have 2 missions instead of just 1.
Man, I'm not going to lie. In order to have a ton of these 10K TF pieces, you've got to drop some serious dough.
You do.
Yeah, you do now for sure.
And it's like, it's not cheap at all. I mean, even at like 0.07 for a 10K a used 10K TF combat gear that you can recycle with some cheap ape coin is just hella expensive. Like,
yep. It is.
Then you think about like, okay, well, if I'm going to outfit, I mean, just, you know, doing 1 PFP is enough, like a lot.
Mm-hmm.
but then you're like, oh shoot, like I'm trying to spread across like a gazillion different missions and or different bounties and then a mission and whatever. Like I've just been like, I don't know. I've got too many G tags, so I kind of just ship them off to do all of the bounties, but then it's like 30 points here, 30 points there. So I guess like that's kind of working for me, but I don't know. Maybe I'm biased, but I feel like the points from a G tag should be more than points from a Gucci Grail. But
okay, Mr. G tag.
I'm just saying, I don't know. Like if these are supposed to be the PFPs, they're not giving flagship vibes.
All right, fair enough.
That's all I'm saying.
We
30
still
points
love-
is
Speculators
crumbs.
ain't speculating.
That's right. They ain't speculating. Playa. Ziggy, ask and you shall receive. It actually is right here. Rec. Oh shit. Here we go. Rec.
Oh,
League.
there you go.
I got it. Yes, we're gonna cover some Rec League. Overall sentiment of Rec League has been pretty down for the most part. Just in,
I'll be honest.
naturally, because they barely sold any. So
I mean, they sold like 9,000. I mean,
out of
they did
what,
okay,
20,000 that they wanted
yeah,
to sell?
but that was ambitious to begin
That
with.
was ambitious. In the middle
Honestly,
of a bear market.
I don't think we talked about this, but like I was ready to roll in and max mint on the day, and then
Lucky
they sent out that tweet where they were like, yeah, Rec League owners are going to be able to get 50% rev share when they sell their item in the app store or whatever, or on the game store. And so I was like, this to me is the most giant freaking red flag I have ever seen, just because it's like you're literally feeding lies to people right now, because they get like, ooh, 50% is coming to the heavy metal owners, so like that means I'm gonna get 50% of all the sales. And then like the reality is
for 30 cents.
The reality is like what? So you're gonna make a heavy, not a heavy. What the hell are they called?
Mech.
The mech. Thank you, Jesus. I'm like, there's a name for this, and I am blank.
A mech.
Mic.
Oh god, he literally dropped the mic.
It was dropping. So then I was just thinking, like, what? You're gonna make a mech, and in a year you might be able to sell like 2 copies of it for like $1 a piece, so you get like $1 in total. I don't know. It seemed like it was promising the world to too many people who were going to read it and take it the wrong way, when in reality it'll be like 6 mechs get to, really reap some rewards because they've built the go-to build outs for the game. And assuming it has that widespread popularity and adoption, then you got to wrap that all together. I'm not trying to crap on Rec League too much here, because I am excited to play the game. I'm excited to see it. I do have some boxes, but when I saw that tweet, I pulled the parachute cord and I said, get me out of here.
No, that's fair. That's fair. Ziggy, congrats on the freaking Yuga poll. That's dope. I did not get that. Bryce was so kind to mint one, because the day of the mint, it was just a shit show. And I was trying to I'll be honest, I was trying to mint and teach, which is a very bad freaking combo. You should never try to do that. And when it didn't, when it was busted the first time, I was just like, I was tilting. You can ask these two fools, because I was tilting in our group message. But Bryce got me one, and Bryce, you sent me no, I'm just kidding. You sent
I sent you an epic.
Yeah, dude, you sent me a fucking epic. So
yeah, dude,
I selected epic.
Split 2 to Will, kept 2 for myself, sent 1 to you, and I got the 2 worst ones. And I was like, mother.
Hey, no good deed goes unpunished, my friend.
I'm on a roll of I've never minted anything good in my life yet.
Yeah, this is probably the best mint I got, and it's because you minted it for me.
I'm just gonna have other people mint for me.
He used all of his mint luck.
Because I hear you, Bryce. I've minted so much shit over the last 2.5 years, and I am just over when it comes to except for there was one that literally the project rugged 45 minutes after the mint, and I had the 10th most rare one. I was like, oh, dope, cool. The one time I had a rare, it's just an absolute rug. But yeah, Ziggy, I think what I will say is the gameplay looks dope. I think it will be something that streaming can be a lot of fun, and they are also with Yatsu and Animoca, they're going to push really, really hard to have awesome events and tournaments and like actual good prize pools that people are going to want to actually play for. Like Yatsu is definitely, I mean, duh, but he's like super behind this, and so he's going to want it to be fun. He's going to want it to be rewarding.
His TED talk?
Dude, I have not. Don't tell me too much. Did you love it?
Yeah, I recommend it. It was good.
I'll be honest with you. Every single time I've heard him talk, I'm blown away. Honestly, just such a wise man. Like that's the way I would describe him. Just a wise dude. And so again, I think it'll be definitely streamable. Definitely going to have some opportunity, especially early, to play in some of these tournaments and have a shot. Like if you get decent at it, you'll have a shot at some prizes, which is dope. And then at the end of the day, like I hope it does really well. Like I have one. I hope it freaking crushes. Like I hope it 100% crushes because it's good for the space as a whole. Like at the end of the day, full stop, it's good for the space as a whole.
I'm just ready to turn around and eat you fools up.
Dude, I'm gonna whoop your ass.
We're gonna have to settle.
Yeah, how did those Clash Royale battles go between us, Will?
Oh,
I'm pretty sure you're
dude, okay.
100?
Wow, you're really gonna shoot for the
No, we want to talk about mobile
for
games.
no reason.
Mobile games, kid.
Dude, you were trash at games. What rank is your Forge, guy?
That doesn't matter. That doesn't
Sit
count.
down. Sit down.
Yeah,
Get off the stage.
Listen, we're not. Oh, see you, Bryce. We're not. And he also just conveniently just fucking put you to the bottom. So anytime, it's like, damn. No.
Yo, right there.
There we go.
The Forge and heavy metal, like, to be honest, I'm not comparing that to being good at a fucking game. But I'll be honest, I'm probably gonna suck ass. Like I'm gonna suck ass. I'll still play you dudes on stream. That would be fun. Like we could have guests. I'm actually looking forward to it now. We could have guests come on, guest appearance. You can challenge one of us, whoever you think you can beat, or maybe we spin the wheel and whoever that is gets to play. Like that could be a lot of fun. And so
I think we all
should
have
play for
coda,
Forge
right?
votes.
We're all claiming, I assume.
Yes.
You both have a coda.
That's tomorrow, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, Ziggy, for sure. Claiming Founders Box 100%. 100%. Jesus, Mr. Vancouver, I did know on 420. I mean, come on now. That's just too perfect. That's why he was freaking
I didn't realize it was
preaching, dude.
long ago.
He was preaching. Yeah, because I knew it had been a little while ago because he had talked about it.
I just saw it pop up on my timeline today and I was like, oh.
No, for sure. Because he had mentioned, he's like, oh, my TED Talk should be going live soon. And then it did. So I definitely need to watch it. Jesus, I know, is very ingrained in the Mochaverse, and so partnered with Rec. So next season after Yuga, for sure, I can see that. And then Jonah saying the long play, he has insight to has him so bullish and floor price, no consequence. Yeah, I would also agree with this type of NFT. The floor price would be something that you're not really honestly concerned at all. It's going to be, do you enjoy the game? Does it get traction? And then, yeah, the 50% thing was super like shiny object thing. But at the end of the day, if it becomes dope, you never know. Like if you do have an awesome build and you figure out, freaking putting these different parts together, you just make this epic freaking mech that could be dope. So I like it.
It just gave me some PTSD to streaming royalties for music. And it sounded like a cool promise, right? When I was new into NFTs. And like the reality is artists don't make a lot on streaming royalties. And then when you bad words. When you spread that across multiple token holders,
but that's so different because like streaming, you're getting like a fucking 0.1%, right? Like that dollar song, you're getting like I don't even know. It's really low.
Yeah, no, I mean it's definitely low, but and it's not just streaming that some of those royalties come in from. It could be a whole number of things. So
for sure.
But
as a musician myself, I definitely understand how corrupt and backwards the music industry is as a whole. But that would be a whole nother tangent. Who doesn't want a copy of the Ziggy Mac? That's true, especially a Yuga version. Like you're gonna have some like OP dude that just smashes the hell out of us, probably.
Mm-hmm.
So no, I think
Squirtle, you stand no chance, my friend. Zero chance.
Oh, I'm gonna be honest with you. Squirtle is kind of a gamer. He's probably gonna smack the fuck out of all of us, dude. Legitimately.
Never mind.
But you know what? I'm not scared. I'll get freaking embarrassed. I played Dookie Dash on this damn stream and I was super average at that. So no problem being a fool. The next topic, gentlemen, and we'll keep it semi-brief because we are coming up kind of close to the top of the hour, is we talked about it last time, and we'll talk about it again. Thank Ape, the prop house. Jesus also has one up on the prop house, and Squirtle, obviously, as part of our homie, our crew, also does as well. But I'll be honest with you, gentlemen. The announcement earlier today that they were going to extend the voting for 24 hours had me kind of hot. I'll be honest, because it
We're
was
right there.
it was announced literally like 5 hours before it was supposed to end. And so, like, to me, that's pretty shitty, if I'm just being honest. And I'm not someone that likes confrontation. I hate it, actually. But the reality is that could potentially change the outcome for different people, and one of them could be us. So naturally, it could potentially impact us directly. And so, yeah, those type of decisions, I don't think you can make that close to the end, because again, we've all been pushing really hard. Everyone, not just us. I'm talking anyone that has a proposal up has been pushing hard, has been talking to people, has been in back channels, DMing, going on shows, having conversations, and so that takes a lot. And for it to then be like, oh, actually, just kidding. We've made the call to do it, 24 hours later. It doesn't.
What was the reasoning behind that? I didn't even see the tweet.
It's yeah, Jesus, for real. 24 hours later, I'm super hot about it. It's because they, yes, also Squirtle. I read these. I'm ADD. They said that the voting was kind of scuffed at the beginning, but here's my pushback. You should have fucking announced that right away. Then you don't wait until 5 hours before. That's craziness.
And it was open for what,
absurd.
like a full week?
It was open for 6 days where it was working well. So, yeah, opens.
In those first few days, we were all at Ape Fest anyway, so it's not like
exactly like we weren't fucking going around asking for people votes on the weekend. Opens the door for speculation on why they moved it, valid or not. It takes away from it. Yeah, exactly. It does all those things, because then it's like, why'd you move it though? Like, what if it changes?
Why'd you move it?
Everything? Like that's
why'd you move it, huh?
All I'm saying is, like, let's say in this theoretical world, we don't get in the top 5 now, which we would have, we were in the top 5. Doesn't that feel shitty for it to be like,
yeah, I mean, it definitely will.
Moving it
But
back.
I don't want to get hot and bothered by it until it happens. And then if it happens, all hell will raise loose.
We'll just
What are you going to do, Bryce?
Yeah,
Tell us,
what are you
please.
going to do? That's
Can you lay out your plan of attack here?
Please.
No.
In the
I'm
event
just
that
gonna
shit hits
let
the fan.
them know. Fuck around and find out. All right.
fuck around and find out, Big
That's
Daddy.
big. Oh, that's big talk right there. Is it all talk and no walk? We will find out. Stay tuned.
To be honest, at the beginning of today, we were like in 3rd. We're now in 5th. We still have 315 votes, which is great. But it's like, dude, if we get caught, I'm just being honest with you. You're gonna see some ratchet ass shit coming off my Twitter account. Like, that's happening. That's gonna be a full send, because I'm gonna be tilted. That feels like fair. That feels very fair to us to be like frustrated if that happened. But you know what? I'm gonna put out the good vibes that doesn't happen, and it'll be exactly the same as it is right now. We've been doing.
I don't know what's worse though. Having your proposal just straight denied from the DAO, or getting booted out of the top whatever ranking because they extended.
This would 100% feel
for another
worse.
day.
It's funny. This is like the
worse.
flip side of how I was with the mobile game when they cut it short, and I would have made it. It's just like the exact opposite.
And it's like you're dealing with money too. Like, it just feels so dirty that they would extend it 24 hours, and because like for us, like, we thought it was ending at 8. So everything we were doing for the last 48 hours has been dictated on it being done at 8. So moving it is just, it's straight bullshit, if we're being honest. But we're gonna keep showing that we deserve it. And this is a reason. Here we go. We're having great conversations. We've had a dope, a number of people come through. We love talking about ApeCoin DAO. We actually really do. We've had Jerry on to talk about staking on this show before he was a special council member. We've talked about every single freaking special council election and reported directly when it came through. We've done all these things. We want to do more. So now it's like, hey, can we get a little support here? Like, can I fucking turn my volume up and say, can you give us a little support? Because we've been grinding our fucking ass off. And we're going to continue to do it, by the way, either way, because that's just how we roll. But a little love would be great. This is not some massive. We're not making $1 million off this freaking vote. That's actually the sadder part. Is I'm getting so tilted over 2,000 fucking ape coin. Jesus, like we're in a bear market, boys. Because I'm getting
Scrapping
tilted.
together the pennies,
Dude,
bros.
Rick, I need to go look under this damn chair back here and see if I got an ape coin or two. But dude, I think before we wrap the show tonight, we should, of course, take it around to the market update with Mr. Weird.
Oh shoot, I'm not prepared.
That's all right. We're gonna talk. Bryce, have you been buying anything in the last week at all?
No.
The last week, honestly, let me see. Oh, I did. I bought a captain at like the very bottom at 305 8 days ago.
Yeah.
So not really in the last week. I got
Sir,
my.
this is the Yuga Labs market update.
Oh, that's okay. I was just asking if you bought anything.
I'm just giving him a hard time, man.
And I would just like to clarify that it does say Yuga Labs market update.
That's okay. Also, I did buy the robe. The robe was the merch. It is comfy. I'm gonna be honest with you. I have to have the homie Don't Feed send it to me because I was so cheap and flew Spirit Airlines and my fucking backpack was to the gills. And I was like, dude, I could wear this.
Didn't let you bring it.
No, it wasn't. No. I chose it and I was like, dude, I'll send you money to just because I was like, I could wear this motherfucker on this plane. And I almost did. I was like, man, I'll be honest. I'm pretty worn out and I don't want the looks today. And so, you know what? I'll just pay for it.
I saw a few tweets of people that were wearing it in the airport.
I know. I'm a pussy. You can say it out loud. It's okay. But I did buy one. I don't even wear robes, but I'm going to now. I was giving shit to these guys. I'm going to wear it on every damn stream once I get it, just to show how dope it is. All right, Mr. Will, without further ado, take it away, my friend.
Yo, we're going to roll into some market updates. Today, we're on OpenSea Pro because there's this one feature that I really, really enjoy, and it's the little tab sidebar over here. And you can see some really dope insights and use the market. And you get the whole order book of the entire everything that's going on here. So it's super great. But we're taking a look here at Bored Apes, and like the books look like pretty healthy, right? Like we previously had massive bid walls. So this green side's bids,
okay,
the right side's asks, yeah. Basically, the green wall was like over, like higher than the asking prices sometimes, and that's when like farmers were running rampant. And so, as you can see here, there's like, some nice gradual decrease towards a. There's quite a few bids here at 21.5, 20.5. So, anyways. While everyone was fudding, we had Beanie Maxi out on the timeline saying apes were going to 10 and ApeCoin was literally going to 0. We've seen a nice rally from rally from like 22-ish ETH, 22.5 maybe, to 28. So real nice move there. Same thing with mutants. We were at like 4.4, almost 4.3 maybe even. Am I dreaming? Was it 4.3?
Yeah, I think it was.
We were all the way down.
Dude, it was freaking close to 4 flat.
It was tough, no matter what it was.
Yeah.
Other Deed Expanded was sitting at 0.3. One thing I will point out here, which is this you can definitely see this. Whoa. Okay. The only problem is I'm not good at controlling this crap. But, nevertheless, here you can see a whole bunch of bids or a whole bunch of listings at 0.39 on LooksRare. We have like some LooksRare farming program where people are fighting for a significantly less prize pool than what people are fighting for on Blur. Yet we still see massive sell walls because people are getting points for listing.
It's all that fried chicken guy.
Yeah, fried chicken expert.
He's going to be getting off
clearly. He knows how to make his fried chicken, and he also knows how to list his NFTs for some LooksRare tokens.
Yes, sir.
But it's really interesting though, because you can just take take the sweep tool out, and you could freaking knock down 100 deeds for 39.6 ETH. Minimal slippage there. But then if you're doing that on Blur, you're not going to get the same effect. Like this ends at 0.4 ETH. If you do that on Blur, let's see real quick here.
I was like, Blur, you can max sweep 50, right?
Well, yeah, first max sweep 50, so I'll drop the slider just for comparison.
And OpenSea Pro is 100 is the max.
Yeah, 100 is the max. So 50, 19.7 ETH. If you're doing it on on Blur, 50 is 21.17. So I mean, quick maths, what is that? 2.4 ETH difference?
Yeah. Yep.
Did I just goof math on
No, I think that was
stream?
right.
I don't think
Did
so.
you say this was 21? Yeah.
So anyways, it's definitely a significant difference there if you're trying to load the boat and you don't really care what you're getting. But yeah, we've seen bids go all the way down to 0.3 when the market was hitting the fan, and now we're back up at 0.38. There is still a little bit of a premium on the OG deeds, which of course you can crack open for a farmer or an enchanter.
Yeah.
And especially today, after we've seen some sweeps, we saw some nice, good sweeps on farmers. I think someone bought 18, pushed the floor up, and then someone bought a nice clip of enchanter vessels. So let's see what we're rocking here. Almost a 0.3 ETH floor there.
What is the difference between the farmer and the enchanter? Is it close? Yeah.
0.3 on the farmer. 0.3 on enchanter, 0.28 on farmers. So yeah, it's definitely close. I think Ziggy mentioned earlier that he bought the bottom on one of these. Maybe it was a farmer. Maybe it was an enchanter.
He said he's the bottom. What's up?
Anyways, it's definitely one of those things where we don't know what's going to happen yet. We don't know what's going to be needed. Is 0.3? Well, they're both enchanters and farmers are basically at 0.3 ETH. Is that to be expected? And then have the hunters at 0.2 at a discount compared to the other two. I mean, from a rarity aspect, yes, it makes sense. From a gameplay aspect, it might not make sense. It might be the move to go and have a full crew of hunters that are ready to just defeat all the shattered, if that's the more engaging activity to do. So it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. But yeah, definitely something to keep an eye on. I think the biggest risk here is like, it's kind of hard to get your bag filled up, and you're much more likely to have this run on you to like 0.45 if someone just comes in and sweeps 50. And so it wouldn't be totally wild, because we saw people come in and sweep heavy metals. If we take a look at the holdings, here's 383F, which I believe is Gabe's team with 707 heavy metals just in this wallet alone.
Wowzers.
They've been dominating the leaderboards, but yeah, when they were doing sweeps, man, it was juicy. Like, just straight. Let's see if we can close this down a little bit. Yeah, they would just come in and sweep the crap out of them.
Right. So it's like, as soon as there's some incentives on for vessels and other deeds and stuff, I will not be surprised when the sweeping commences.
Agreed.
But yeah, so TLDR 7-day is just massive green, 18 for Bored Apes, 25% for mutants, 21 for dogs, and then LOTM or other deed assets getting a nice little boost there as well. So yeah, I don't know. It's it feels good to see green, especially when it was a whole lot of red. Everybody was bearish. I was over there collecting some monkey JPEGs, which I have now rehomed the two that I had picked up. So we're just chilling now. We're sitting back, getting ready to make a move.
And getting ready to freaking
nimble.
Shoot off into space with the September Yuga season beginning. Also, just a note for us, we love the me bits. Man, they were below 1, I think, weren't they, for a second?
0.8. I should have just bought. I should have just closed my eyes and bought, but I had too many, and I was too busy, fiddling around with apes, trying to do a little bit of loans, some loan farming and some loan giving.
Right.
I was like rocking this 1,000% APY loan on an ape, and then the floor started moving up. So then the guy wasn't repaying it, and I was like, "Let's go!"
Yeah.
Don't you dare! Don't repay that.
Because it was raking in what, like
Unfortunately,
0.6 ETH a day or something
it was
crazy.
0.6 ETH a day. He finally closed it out after he owed me 1 ETH in interest. So GG's.
What's up? The easiest deal of your life.
That is the easiest point.
I mean, I could have gotten.
I was gonna say, granted, the floor could have kept tanking. You got
That's true.
stuck with
That's
an
true.
inch, but
That's true.
usually, yeah. Rapid price decline. Throw out some loans, some high APY loans.
For
below
sure.
the floor.
Below the
I
floor.
mean,
Yeah,
it's kind of like a how do you bid below the floor and get hit? You use a loan with a high APY.
We just love to hear it. We love when you guys are taking some fat dubs, baby. We eat the dubs. Ziggy, we talked a little bit about it at the beginning, but we're just gonna do a quick recap. Dude, the weekend was awesome. The three of us got to hang out during Saturday's festivities. ASAP Ferg was dope. Meeting the people in the flesh is always dope. Like, legitimately, the best part is just sitting down and having conversations, eating the food, putting on my robe. All those things were dope. All the community events, like, shout out to them, salute to them, because I went to a number of them, and each one was just fire. It was just a dinner or a brunch, or I know there was a golf event I didn't go to that, and there was a yacht that I didn't go to, but there's like something every single day. And shout out to the Fuck It Friday crew. Buffalo, Nick, and Profits, they just freaking slayed it. So, like, again, amazing. And oh yes, that axe that you got from Applied Primate.
Yeah, I was gonna briefly touch on this real quick before we wrapped up. I mean, Applied Primate gave out these little badges. They had codes on the back, which was redeemable for these axes, which are used in their Megaforce equipment. So they're used in their game that's coming out or is already existing. I don't know. I need to do some research into it.
I think I saw some people were playing it at fucking Saturday.
Okay.
Like a beta version of it.
Okay.
So that was like kind of an unexpected $50 that landed in my wallet after I claimed this thing. So
we love to hear it, my dude.
Love to see it.
We love to freaking see it and hear it. And so as we wrap, what I'll just say is, hey, now that Thank Ape is still open for 24 hours, do us a massive favor. In reality, if you haven't voted, you can check us out. You can check out tweets I put out. I think my pinned tweet actually is the one for us here at Board TV to expand our coverage to include a lot more about the DAO, which would include at least once a month interviews with someone on the DAO team. We would also have segments every single week looking at AIPs, brief segments, obviously powered by ApeCoin. And then we would also, our Monday infographic and article that we push out every single Monday would have a section dedicated to ApeCoin and the AIP. So a lot of more information on purpose to inform people. If you don't know about this, if you haven't heard our spiel, you can go to our website, boardmedia.xyz, and you could have done this actually like 2 or 3 months ago and voted for every single AIP. We've done that. We've been building. We're not going to stop because at the end of the day, we are super passionate. Like, at the end of the day, we're super passionate about all things Yuga Labs and ApeCoin DAO. That's what we've been focusing on and want to continue to focus on. And, like, to be honest, we can't wait until we're going to all these in real life events and covering them. Like, these are things that we're going to do. I'm speaking it into existence because I know that we've talked about it from the beginning. So we're going to be at these events. We're going to be, camera crews and having a good time and interviewing the people. We're going to have amazing streams. We're going to be streaming all these games. We're going to be building another side, and we're going to be covering the DAO. That shit's going to happen either way. But we would super appreciate if you have a couple votes for ApeCoin DAO. And by the way, if you have 5 ApeCoins sitting in your wallet, that's still massive. Those are 5 votes. And for example, 10,000 Ape is actually only 40 votes. So that
I got
5
hosed.
Yeah, I know. It's still, again, voting in general, and this just shows you it's all scuffed no matter what. But for those that have 1 ApeCoin, 4 ApeCoin, that is actually massive because those 4 votes could be the difference between, our proposal passing or not. So you can check out my pin tweet on Fabaka31, my handle. It would be awesome if you would. And either way, we're going to be here every single Wednesday because we've been doing it for over a year. We've done it for like 400 days. We're not stopping now. Any last remarks, gents, before we wrap this sucker up?
Stay bored.
Dude.
Yeah, man. Freaking keep on grinding the forge and stay bored.
Dude, they said it. That's it. Board TV. We out. Stay bored.
That money could gap, you can't ignore it. I'm transforming now these cars and planes, I'm always boarding. Just out touring down in Charlotte like I play for Hornets. When I'm performing, never boring, now you can't afford it. Champagne Perrier, finished friends, I'm